gave it to me.
Did Lisa, or, I'm glad she didn't take it because I
She
knew
didn't realize
that.
she had it.
Oh, I'm glad that she did not.
Hey, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the, oh,
How are you?
Meant to be like a,
I was just waiting for that red sign up there to,
I don't know why,
I don't know why this,
that just means Michael.
and then it's just gonna be,
it's supposed to go over there, right?
and it's always been so confusing. I was never,
It's supposed to bounce, go to the left and no, the left, record. Yeah, push that, hang on to it, and then it'll bounce back, yeah.
Now it's recording or
Should be,
no?
I'm gonna look. Did you put it in?
I don't know.
That's right.
I think it's supposed to stay. Okay.
okay. All right, again, I'd like to welcome you all to the City of Norman Board of Parks Commissioners meeting for Thursday, April 4th, 2024. First item is roll call. Billy Davison.
Here.
Chrissy Isaacson absent. Chris Moxley.
Here.
Elizabeth Ross is absent. Mary Salee.
Here.
Cheryl Sheriff's here. Ellen Usry.
Here.
Christy Wright. Here. Okay. Next item, minutes. Consideration of approval, rejection, amended, and/or postponement of minutes from February 1st, 2024 Park Board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve, or is there any corrections, or
Motion to approve.
do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The second item on the agenda is a fun thing, exciting thing. Consideration of acknowledging receipt, rejection, amendment, and/or postponement of the recognition of Nazida Nada Alvarez Savich, a dedicated community volunteer targeting litter reduction and environmental enhancement. And we have some guests over here tonight, and the thing of it is that we're not honoring an adult. We are honoring a 6-year-old girl. And Nada, we just want to thank you so much. She started the Norman Nature Club in February of 2023 when she was 6 years old. So I guess you're 7 now? You're now 7. And she mainly wanted to plan and host litter cleanup events in Norman parks, but also wanted to inspire people and educate others about the importance of conserving our natural spaces, respecting our natural world, and controlling our waste and impact on our community. Over the last year, she's recruited 18 volunteers and has done various events, removing 17 bags of trash and 7 recycling bags also, trash from our parks, lakes, and streams. She had a booth at the Earth Day last year. Are you going to have one this year? You'll have one this year. Very good. In December, this past December, she raised $150 for Wild Care by selling lip balm that she made herself, and we'll have to ask her how she made that. She did the art herself, and her parents helped print the labels. She did her own art show in 2022 prior to starting the Norman Nature Club, and that raised $220 that she donated to the Nature Conservancy. She has obviously has an intense interest in nature and a desire to make a difference in the world and in our city of Norman. The Nature Club has given her confidence that her efforts matter while motivating her to get more involved. And Nada, can we call you Nada? Would you come up here, please? We have a plaque that we're going to present to her. Lovely plaque. And it says Volunteer Appreciation Award presented to Nazida. Is that Nadejda? Nada. Alvarez Savich, in recognition for your dedicated service and commitment to targeting litter reduction and environmental enhancement. We commend your effort in making our community better. From the Norman Parks and Recreation. stand right here by me, and do you have anything you'd like to say to these people? No? What do you have planned for now?
What do you mean?
What do you have in the works? What are you getting ready to try to do? Do you have a project you're working on right now?
No.
No project, okay.
I think you need to solve that T-shirt that you have on.
Yeah, every day
Where'd
is
you get
Earth
that
Day, that's
t-shirt?
right, that's right. What are you gonna do for Earth Day this year?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. You're gonna have a booth, but you're not sure yet what you're gonna do. Can you tell us how you made your lip balm? Did you use natural ingredients, or what kind of ingredients did you use to make it?
Or do you just want us to buy it?
Yeah, it's a secret, say it's your secret recipe.
It's a secret, right? Secret ingredient.
She did all the reading.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
We're honest, like beeswax and
Beeswax, yeah.
shea
Shea
butter, the really simplistic recipe, and then some oils to flavor.
Nice.
Very good. That sounds fun. What grade are you in?
Second.
Second grade? Very good. Well, we welcome you, and we're glad to have you and your family here tonight.
Yes.
You're welcome to stay, or you can leave whenever you feel like you need to leave. So
Thank you. You should be very proud of her.
proud of her. Yes, be very proud of her.
Starting this?
She's incredible.
That's amazing.
Thank you all.
Thank
Do
What's your, what's your
either of
school?
y'all have it?
Classen Montessori School.
Okay.
Okay, here in Norman?
Yeah.
Do y'all have anything else to add or like to say or?
Not without crying. He'll probably
Yeah.
be better about it.
We're just, we didn't know that it would go this big, right? We just want to follow her and her lead in terms of all this, and she just wanted to clean up a bunch of things. So we try to facilitate that and give opportunities as much as possible. So we're very thankful for all this, but I think her mission is just to try to do this as much as she can. So it's really awesome to get recognized for
Well, thank you for backing her and encouraging her. We really appreciate it.
it. Thank you all.
Uh-huh.
She inspires her class.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I pick up litter, but I don't know if I would be out there once a month on the weekends doing it without her asking to. So she's changed the whole family. And
Yeah, a lot of family support.
That's cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
thank you very much.
School always has
It's always exciting to have things like this come before parks.
Well, it was a shock because I thought it was an adult,
That's
recognition, so
That's
This
why I
is
said,
impressive.
yes, that's why I
This is
said,
impressive.
we're sitting here thinking it's gonna be one of these adults, but it
Yes.
wasn't, it was the child, so. And child shall lead them, I guess is what.
Oh, thank you.
Discussion items. Item number 3, consideration of approval, rejection, amended, and/or postponement of previously approved council actions. Mr. Jason, I guess.
So we'll cover those. We had a little bit of a light month in March, and thank goodness, we were quite busy for a long time. But just to go over the items that we had before council this past month, we had of course, a contract with Freese Nichols for the design of the Jenkins Avenue. This is the roundabout that's going near Reeves Park, so the design of that has started, and then they have even started to realign utilities around the park in anticipation of that construction project. We had 2 contracts with Happy Playgrounds, one at Sunrise Park Playground and for Falls Lakeview Park Project. So these will be replacements of our playground systems at both of those parks. We had an ordinance, brand new ordinance for special event permits. This will basically, people have to get a special event license to film anything on city property. So this will definitely cover parks. So we've already had we haven't had to do this yet. It's not fully in effect, but we have definitely been talking about it, and we're now starting to notice more and more people contacting us for permission to film in parks or on park properties, which is, I think, the intent of it, just to make sure we're aware of that, and also to, this is a way, an avenue for anybody that wants to do any kind of major film projects to be reimbursed for anything through grants or state initiatives, we had to have this in place. And then we had the Arbor Day proclamation on March 26th. So the kind of a short items, short list of items that we did. So if there's any questions about those, love to answer them.
Does the film, I didn't read that ordinance, but does it have anything in there about, I mean, does this prohibit like high school students from going out, or are they gonna have to have a, if it's to make money? I think when I was on board, it was like, well, if you're gonna make money doing this, then yeah, you need some sort of a permit, but.
I think this is a very minimum fee. It's only $25, and this is for basically any kind of major production. So if there is a project or anything like that that's a small one that has no cost behind it, we're not going to ask for them to do any kind of special event permit for that. But it's basically for anything that's any kind of production cost is behind it.
Okay. Okay.
So photography doesn't count, it's
No,
just
it's only
filming.
Any other questions? Okay. Going on to reports, annual presentation from Westwood Golf. Rick?
Can we take Nada's saying and we have nothing to say?
That's cute. I don't think so, because our next item is probably going to be some discussion that we would
Okay.
like to hear about why.
Do you want Paul to go first since
It's up to you. Whatever y'all practiced. What was the rehearsal like?
we didn't practice?
No dress rehearsal?
No.
Not good.
Yeah, whatever order y'all want to go.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Paul, golf course superintendent at Westwood, maintain the property and the grounds. The greens performed well in 2023 golfing season, and the programs we have in place are working well. The greens performed well, and we're happy with the progress we're making on them. Drainage is an ongoing project at Westwood. There's lots of drainage projects that need to be done. We've accomplished a few of them in the past season. Behind 11 Green, there was a swale that needed to be cleaned out. Some drainage issues in number 1 and 2 and a 14T, but there's multiple other ones we'll be doing in the future. So it's a highlight in our regular maintenance. Also bunkers, we're in a renovation in bunkers that's ongoing. We were 6 bunkers into 13 bunkers that are on the property. The next one will be done is number 2, if anybody plays golf at Westwood. It's number 2 greens, the next one to be slated, and you all have my report, right? So you can read in detail, I'm just paraphrasing. Last season, we had a storm in mid-June, and it dropped a lot of trees on the golf course, large trees, and there's still some cleanup from that, but we got help from Parks and Recreation, and so we're, the large parts of the tree is what's left, and there's a portion of that still left on the course, so we're still cleaning those up, because there's some of them are inaccessible and the conditions aren't just right. So, let's see, yeah, so the clock tower at the first tee was an outside contract, but there was also a lot of city employees involved in that installation. We trenched, but the electricians laid the wires and everything else, so you don't want the details on that. But it went well. The tower looks nice, and there's a picture of mid-construction in there too. So. The driving range is slated to kind of put some of these other projects on the back burner for a few months. We're going to go into adding additional irrigation. The whole driving range needs to be renovated, so we're going to add irrigation where there isn't coverage, so then we can, and some drainage issues, and then we can sod in the fall and improve the driving range as a whole with turf coverage. And there's some pictures on that. And that kind of touches on everything. I just want to say thank you to everybody that makes this possible. I really like my job, and Jason is a good leader, and I appreciate him and Rick, you know, I work with him every day and we run everything by each other on stuff that we need to do and make a plan and you know, Carla and Lisa are the main people that I work with on a regular basis and the administrative staff, and I appreciate them very much. They make my job easier, and so thank you. And also my own staff at Westwood, which makes it every day enjoyable. I really love the people I work with, and so thank you, you know, to them and to everybody else.
You weren't that nice about Jason when we were practicing.
You didn't practice. You didn't say we didn't practice. That's not true.
All denying it.
That's Rick's sense of humor.
And Carla, will you send us his report? 'Cause
We
I'm
didn't
not-
get it.
We didn't.
I will. I just received an email, so I'll send those.
Okay, I appreciate it.
We don't.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Sorry.
That's okay.
All right, ready for me? All right, Rick Parrish, PGA professional. Again, reiterate what Paul said. Thank you for the time y'all spend on the Parks Board and for having us. February 8th, we switched over to Club Profit software from Vermont Rec Track, and the change has been, you couldn't even put a number on how much better it is. Club Profit is more of golf specific, where Vermont was just trying to get into the golf business, and we were kind of helping them out too with some situations, but it's just so much better than what we had. So IT, thank you to IT too. Westwood Men's Golf Association, their Saturday league began on March 9th and will conclude on August 24th. The Thursday night league begin on March 21st and will end the Thursday before the time change. So it'll end the last of October. They're actually out there playing right now. There was 28 teams, two-man teams playing when I left. Ladies' Day, this says they begin in May. The ladies actually play every Thursday morning, and they pretty much go year-round. Senior play days, we actually just started the play days yesterday, and they'll finish up in October also. The 49th, our Invitational, this is going to be the 49th year for the Invitational. Last year, we had a little bit of hiccups with the city taking over we had to buy the rights to the Westwood Invitational website. Because we had a guy that made it for us and we had to buy it from him. So we were a little late getting the information out, and I think that's what led a little bit to our numbers being down to 138. Also, this was like the fourth year that we had been on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and it seems to go better when we're on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which we are this year. Huh?
What's on Friday, Saturday?
The Invitational.
Oh, the invitation.
That's the
Yeah.
4th of July.
Tournament.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. First tee, we're still having spring, summer, and fall. That's on Wednesday nights. We have about 75 kids per session. US Kids is still having 4 tournaments a year at our course. We're still one of the more popular courses. In 2023, we had a total of 413 kids participate in the 4 tournaments. South Central Section Junior Tour is coming on June 4th. That's one where we have always had our marshals act as attendants or scorers for the players, and we get tons of comments about that. I guess some of the golf courses just open the golf course up and just turn the kids loose. We don't do that. Our Westwood Free Junior Clinic will be on June 11th and 12th. Our Junior Academy will start on the 18th. We have 7 sessions. It'll conclude on July 17th with the Junior Academy Championship. We have 90 kids every year. We actually put a limit on it because of how many people we can have out there watching them. We try to get as many volunteers as we can, but 90's kind of, we've noticed that 90's about our limit for the staff we have. We're still offering pro shop discounts to our annual members and to our men's and ladies associations, trying to promote customer loyalty to the pro shop and to Westwood in the city of Norman now. Well, always the city of Norman. Not now.
Strike that last part we just said.
Yeah, can I click a button?
Delete.
So we have Norman High Boys and Girls on Mondays. We have Norman North Boys and Girls on Tuesdays. We have middle schools on Wednesdays. And Early Wine Driving Range is closed down, so now we have Southmore and CCS on Monday through Thursday on our driving range, and sometimes on the golf course. We've already hosted a girls 6A JV 9-hole tournament, a girls 6A varsity tournament, a boys varsity tournament, and Greg Grost came along and wanted to start a Robert O. Smith Spring Break Junior Invitational, and we had our first one this year. We had 26 players this year, and we're hoping to grow that as we move on. Total rounds for FY '23 was 37,257. It was about 1,000 down from FY '22, 38,257. So, oh, and then, do you want me to go into the?
Well, we'll go over the price increase the next slide.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking.
Okay. Well, that's about all I got. But thank you again. Thank you to Paul and his staff, my guys. We love where we work. So, thank you.
That's good.
Guys are doing a good job out there. Anybody else have any other questions or anything? Okay, moving on to the nitty-gritty of the golf course and other things. Item 5, consideration of approval, rejection, amended, and/or postponement of Westwood Golf and Pool price increase.
So we'll go over this, try to go over it pretty quickly, but just to give you quite frankly, update the previous 2 fiscal years, we were profitable at Westwood, about $40,000 in the black for the past 2 fiscal years. The past fiscal year, we were probably lost. This is just, and we should have had this printed out, but we lost over $100,000 total in that fund, and for our first time in a few years, we actually lost, or since COVID, we lost money in the pool fund. This is attributed to we had not had a cost increase ever at the pool since we reopened back up in 2019, and we have not had a cost increase out at Westwood. I think the last one was in 2000 when Judd was here. Or 2020, excuse me. I'm making it sound super old. 2020 when Judd's last year, full year here. So after 2 very profitable, or what we consider successful years at Westwood, we always want to be in the black, and we are actually running positive in that fund. The Westwood fund is mainly made up of has 3 revenue makers in there. It's our concession stand and grill. At the pool and at the golf course. So we also have our golf course fund and our Westwood pool fund. After this past year of going a little bit, about $200,000 in the hole, we ended up about $70,000 total negative in that fund. So we're going to have to get an appropriation from the general fund to make everything whole in that fund. This year, as we were putting prices together, we had no other choice because the cost of just simple goods and materials going up. Along with, since 2020, as you can imagine, the cost of labor has increased. I believe that we have got, last year, everybody should have got around an 8% raise, 4% cost of living, and a 4% bump in their regular pay scale as they progress. And then the year before that, we actually, everything got changed in our, for all city employees. They actually did a study, and we got to increase them according to whatever the market rate is around the state. And on average, I would say it is probably about an 8% raise, and added extra steps into our pay plan. So in the past 2 years, we've had about 16% cost in labor that have gone up, and also whatever 30 to 40% in cost of materials. and everything else that goes along for that. And just for example, and this is one of the ones that stick out in my head, we had typically the year before at our pool, we had about $500,000 in labor, $500,000 in labor cost, about $500,000 with our temporary lifeguards. This past year, we were bumping up to about $650,000. And that was just a simple cost that we found out that was associated with trying to hire lifeguards, because the previous 2 years, we could not get enough staff on board to hire, so we had to increase the cost of that. And that's not even, when you're talking about lifeguards, those are temporary employees, and then our full-time employees, that's where you would see your cost of living in typical steps. So what you'll see right here, we'll go over, that first column you have right there is what we were charging in 2023. That second column is what we're proposing, is about a $3 cost change in everything, along with $1 cost in cart fees. And then if you kind of go down farther down that list, and that, we always go with even numbers. If you remember a couple years ago, we did come with you and even out everything. That's a cost with tax that we will be charging. And if you look out there, we have a lot of our Oklahoma City golf courses. That is what they're charging. That's the cost of everything included with tax. Trosper is a little bit cheaper. That's also an Oklahoma City golf course. If you look out a little bit farther to the right, you've got John Conrad. That's a Midwest City Municipal course, and then which is newly renovated. I would say that's probably about 2 years since it's been renovated. And then Kicking-Bird, which is opened up this past year, that's Edmonds Municipal course. They're an extreme. We always make fun of, we probably shouldn't say this out loud, but we do make fun of Edmond for being bougie. But you can kind of see what's going on right there. They are extreme, and then you look at John Conrad. That's our low cost. So we're kind of typically when you're doing a case study, you throw out your high cost and you throw out your low cost comparable. So what we need to pretty much focus on right there is the two ones in the middle, which is the Oklahoma City courses. We kind of lie there. If you kind of see, we're kind of right there in the middle of the proposed cost. Everything from regular green fee starting at $33 all the way down to the bottom. I believe that we'll have the complete cost right there. 18 holes with half cart would be $51 total. Anything that you want to bring up, Rick?
The senior fee's going to 20, not 23.
I was gonna ask
Okay.
about
Okay,
that.
that makes sense. That makes
Okay, so
How old do you have to be a senior?
60.
60, okay.
and also just to kind of clean up with the junior fees. Make sure everybody notes that's a $20 cost instead of a $23. The junior fee is what you get. What's the cost if you are in 18 or under in school? That $7 fee where you see it's school cost. That's if for example, if one of the middle schools or the high school. So that's what we charge them per green fee every time they come to play.
Did you look at charging more on the weekend, or just don't want to complicate it?
We've tried that. When we reopened from the renovation, we tried having a higher fee on the weekend, and it blew up in our face.
This is, and we also, if you remember a couple years ago, we came to you and kind of adjusted the prices. We got a little overcomplicated with them. We had so many fees. We had an OU fee, we had a military fee, we had fees if you were associated with this company and all this other stuff. We went through there and really simplified everything, and it makes it easier on our end because no matter what, these are a push button on one of our point of sale system. That makes it easier on our staff with a simplification of there, and it's just also easier on the customer, especially with that round number that you throw in them with including tax, to know what they're going to be charged and when. Anything else you would like to add into that, Rick? I think what is not mentioned in here, which we didn't add there to it, we're also talking about an increase for our driving range, which right now is $350 for a half bucket. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we're requesting to go up to, or recommending that we go up to $4 per bucket.
Oklahoma City's going to 4 in May.
Yeah.
And they're going to $450 in May of 25 per token.
If there's any, we'll take any questions about the golf course. If not, we'll move on to the pool. All right. So Also at Westwood, for, like I said, yes, sir.
Did you say you were 100,000 in the red with the golf course?
Usually the golf course is yes, significantly in the red, and the
So will this
the
zero
poll
it out?
will pull them.
Looks like
I don't know if this will pull it pull us completely out of the
37,000
red.
rounds times $3, that's right at 100,000, isn't it?
We hope. I don't know if this will completely pull us out of the red at the golf course, but the idea is all of those combined as a fund that will be in the black. And usually we're a little bit more profitable, like I said, at the poll, but this year labor absolutely killed us. These are the recommended prices of what staff's recommending to increase. It's not a whole lot of changes in this. I think the one thing that we're kind of focusing in on is we're still going to be free for 3 and under. For 18 and under, we're going to keep the same pricing. 18 and above, or we're recommending to go up $2, along with our senior and military vet and first responders also recommending going up for $2, but we're still going to keep our morning activities, Twilight STEM, swim, and group rates all at $5.
How many do you have to have for a group?
That, I believe that is 10 or more. And that's a lot of times, especially when you get closer to school, when school groups have their parties out there, they don't like to fully rent the facility, which is about $2,000 for a 2-hour rental, and also works out really well for our daycare groups. We have quite a bit of daycare groups that come out there. And if we, like to mention, if you go back, these are the one proposed rates that we are recommending to happen immediately. Everything else will be July 1st. So that would be the change of the fiscal year with everything else. This one will be, we recommend having immediately, which will start when we open on Memorial Day weekend. Forgot to mention that with the golf prices. Go ahead. So this is also one we're recommending to happen because we already advertised prices at the 2023 level. We're recommending to go up basically about $25 or $15 per family. We'll go from $200 to $225. Seniors will go from $150 to $175. Individual passes will go from $60 to $65, and seniors will go up $10. This, once again, will happen July 1st. And the reason we're also recommending this, like I said, previously said, we were already advertised these prices, and by the time we get to July, we're no longer selling at prices anyways. So this will be in effect for next swim season.
Remind me how many season passes y'all average sales?
And
Just
this is
overall.
not, I don't want you to do the math on this because it does not add up because we do hand out scholarships. And the scholarships do really
Sure.
sway everything, but last year we sold around 8,000 passes.
Okay.
And
But
some were scholarship.
I will say that about those, of all those, there's be somewhere around 2,000 of them were scholarships.
Were scholarships.
Is there any more? Yeah. Okay, and this goes into our rentals. Kind of shows you rentals and classes. Kind of shows you where we were on 2023. We always have a pass holder and non-pass holder. We find that to be pretty successful, encourages more people to buy passes, especially if you're doing swim lessons or any of the classes. You can kind of see the gradual change in there. I think our biggest change will be with swim lessons. We're suggesting those to kind of stay right at the same price for our pass holders, but going up a little bit. Therefore, up to $75 for non-pass holders. Private lessons, it looks like we're keeping all those the same, and then everything else besides that will be pretty close to the same besides party rentals. We're going up $50 per party, which if you kind of go to a Jump Zone or someplace like that, it's pretty market rate for those. And all your party rentals, I think, includes about 15 passes to get into the swim complex.
What's the private lessons, is that
It's a one-on-one swim lesson,
so like a week
basically.
of them
by
or
Zoom.
something?
Do what?
So for like a week of lessons?
That's a group of, every one of these, you get, I think you get one a week for 6 weeks. So that's basically six swim lessons that you would get with those private lessons.
Jason, you might have said it, and I might have missed it. Will you have to go up on wages for this year too, for lifeguards?
We don't know what's gonna happen this year. We're kind of, so we might be coming to you for more cost increases for 2025. I would anticipate, the non-union workers will, I think that they're, what I've heard is going to be a 4% raise, in signing a deal for a 2-year deal, so that would be our union workers, will get 4% for the next 2 years, so I would anticipate our non-union workers will also get the same.
Okay.
But if minimum wage goes up between now and then, it's
That's not gonna be for a while.
Well,
$7.50 to $15.
and that would hurt, I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but, I would say probably our average employee out there is somewhere around, $13 to $15 an hour anyways. It's amazing, how much you gotta pay people to inspire them to come to work nowadays. It's different than what it was a few years ago.
What's the junior elite thing?
That's a lifeguard camp, so that's this, we have a age regulation, so a few years ago, we were starting to having problems with, teenagers getting dropped off at the pool and unsupervised, so this is basically the only way you can be dropped off at the pool unsupervised is go through the lifeguard camp. And also in addition to that, this has been a great system to feed into our lifeguards. A bunch of these guys get junior lifeguard certified at 14 and 15, and then they funnel into
So they have to
our pay
be-
system.
14.
Yeah.
That's 13.
What's the
I think.
minimum age of that? I
It's
think
either
it's-
12 or 13.
I thought I read 13.
I feel like it's
Is it a week thing or what?
It's
Is it all summer?
It's if you, it's a long period of
Is
time.
it?
I think it's for the, if I remember right, it's for the first 8 weeks, and then after that,
I would hope
it
it's
kind of gives them permission to be dropped off.
a good amount of time.
And they assist on everything. They help us get water. They help clean the pool, but then they're also there getting taught. They get CPR and they go through the same, eventually the same certification all of our lifeguards do. And they just assist the lifeguards at that point. We don't let them guard on their own, but they're out there assisting the lifeguards, and especially in the areas like sometimes we use them for slide attendants or over there in the splash area or in the toddler pool.
How is the Westwood swim team different than like the Sooner Swim Club? Is that, I thought that was the,
No, this is a program that Josh is very passionate about, and this is just, separate from this. This is not quite as competitive as the Sooner Swim Club. And two, it gets you, all these kids a chance to swim outside on a long course. We'll also have a YFAC swim club that Josh.
well, that's
Josh
what I
runs.
was, okay.
And I would say it's kind of like going from, playing with your church.
It's more of like a
weekend
developmental
tournaments to AAU
team.
basketball. When it's just the difference between those two. Sooner swim clubs have very competitive swimmers.
So is there rental rates, I mean, will they be totally at YFAC or are they going to be back at Westwood?
Well, we'll have separate programs. I would think during the summer that we're going to slow down some of our programming at YFAC on purpose because we do have to make revenue out at Westwood. But there's going to be separate swim clubs, and we're probably not going to have our YFAC swim club going on during the summer. It'll also be a stretch on staff with 2 pools being open and the city operating both of those pools.
So what would the swim rate for Westwood be for Sooner Swim Club then? I mean, I don't see anything for,
That's a rental fee, and I believe that's about $12 per hour per lane is what they pay us.
okay.
It might be a little bit more at this point, it might be 15. We started out at 12, they're paying 15 right now at YFAC, and I don't know if they're paying that. There's 12 to 15 is what they're paying per hour.
Okay, well, I just didn't see anything on,
They do a lot, they pay quite a bit, it's in the tens of thousands that they end up paying us for pool rental by the end of the year.
Are you guys looking at any alternatives besides the next Norman Forward to fund a new clubhouse for the golf thing?
I would say that we're starting our Westwood master plan, and we went through there and we interviewed consultants. We're working on negotiation with the consultant right now. I don't know if there is a good answer to that, but I would think our main focus is on Norman Ford to bond that. That's going to be a new clubhouse. I think
not much
Erling Wine
property
is
out there
about 14 million in cost.
It'd be a
right
big
now, so
ticket
we
item,
need
so
to-
I can't think of another revenue source that would cover the millions that this is gonna cost.
It's either that or it's going to have to be a separate bond issue. And I will say this: the you start looking at Oklahoma City courses, all of them but Trosper at this point will have a new clubhouse, and the
Yeah, I've been in
clubhouse
some of
is
those. They're really nice.
they're very essential into producing revenue. I think that
Bringing a
once
lot
we
of-
get
yeah.
a new clubhouse and have a proper way to host events and a proper restaurant and
After
and
hours,
proper
all that sort of stuff.
proper teaching, pro teaching area, you're gonna see a lot more
Social
revenue
relationships.
making ability out there for it.
But there's not much room to expand a footprint for a clubhouse out there, is there?
Oh, there's all sorts of things.
That clubhouse is quite huge, where we're at. It takes up a lot of space, and then you also look at the maintenance center, which is also on the front end. We're looking for other alternatives to place the maintenance area somewhere on the golf course.
That's okay. That's why I was wondering if you could move the maintenance
That
to
little
the.
house out there in the back.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean,
Paul size guy.
Paul,
It's
Paul,
going.
how far away from the clubhouse do you want to be?
Well, doesn't the city own that one house that faces Robinson just on the other side of
It's
the
gone,
fence?
other side.
We do that, we own that area. Also, we own the EMS area, which we anticipate hopefully by the time next Norman Ford comes around that, we've had discussions, very preliminary
See that
discussions
going
with the
for tennis.
hospital. They're looking for a new EMS area, which will not be at Westwood. So we'll probably gain that property because we actually own that as well. And interestingly enough, we cannot find no matter where we look at, we cannot find a contract for that EMS center. It's a bunch of handshake agreements going back on in the '70s.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all they did.
I was gonna say that probably
We
was
looked.
what.
Okay, so, is there any other discussion on the fees? Any other questions? I believe we need a,
This would be a recommendation
Recommendation.
of Park Board to the director to increase pricing at Westwood.
So moved.
A second.
okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then the park board recommends the price increases to move forward. Is there any other discussions? There was no, miscellaneous items. Does anybody have any miscellaneous items?
Well, we did not put the North Ford update on there. We missed that, and along with the divisional ones, but we'll be really quick. There's not a whole lot of Norman Ford updates to go on besides, I'd love to answer questions about the adult wellness and YFAC right now. We got an update today about adult wellness. They're up to 2,600 members, which is really good. We had we have data now coming back that we can, the city for YFAC actually pays into this tracking program where we can find out where people are going. I know that sounds scary, but it's not as scary as it sounds. Everybody has a lot of people have access to this, but this tells us how many people are going into the YFAC, where they're going to before and where they're going after. And the numbers that we're getting back are pretty amazing from our first couple months of being open in the YFAC. We had about 60,000 visitors in February and 70,000 visitors in March to the Young Family Athletic Center, and just to see where they're going before and going after, depending on where it is, and it tracks how long you spend at the YFAC. The average stay is above 120 minutes when you're in the center, and also it'll tell you what days. Of course, as you get towards the weekend, those numbers get higher of how many people are going in there, and it tracks where you are and where you go beforehand. Of course, the largest percentage during the week is people coming beforehand from their house, but they are filtering into restaurants afterwards around between Chick-fil-A and other restaurants that are in the UMP. And they're pretty at a high rate, so if you do about 2% of 60,000 people, which showed us that went to Torchy's Tacos in the month of February, that's about 1,700 extra people are going to one restaurant in a month, which I'm sure they appreciate that. So
How do
why
they do that? On their phone?
there is a
That's their-
They're
so
tracking
there
on
is
the
a
phone.
how marketing groups keep track of every data and everything right now, that through certain apps or your tracking devices on your phone, they can there is a way to tell where you have been and where you're going through there. But
It all comes from Google pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
but we're picking up that data, and I think the results are very successful in the first couple months of out there in the YFAC. We're having tournaments, if you drive by, you'll see the parking lot is absolutely packed on the weekends. This past weekend, we had our first shoe branded tournament with Puma. Parking lot was packed. We had that tournament brought 200 teams to the Oklahoma City area, and the Young Family Athletic Center was the main base for the whole tournament. That was the home site for it. A few weekends before that, and if you do the math, we'll keep this pretty simple. If you're doing a basketball tournament, you're having about five kids on each team in the court each time, and you take that times whatever parents, and you'll get your total. We had our first volleyball tournament about a month ago. We have 12 courts instead of 8 courts, and they also have a minimum of 6 players on the court instead of 5. So if you do the math, it was absolutely pandemonium finding a parking spot at Embassy Suites or the YFAC that weekend. But we worked a deal with the tournament operator. We, instead of charging them a rental fee, we got to keep all the revenue from gate, charged $10 per head for that, and we did about $12,000 in one day of admission charges for that tournament, which is more than what we would have made from a rental situation. Coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend, is our first Nike Hoops tournament. And it's a 17 and 18-year-old tournament. We'll just be exclusively at the YFAC. About a month after that, we'll have a Adidas tournament. Then we have 2 live period tournaments over the summer, which are coming up. And live period tournaments are very hard to get, and those are also shoe sponsor tournaments. Not to mention everything else that's coming along with that. We're doing our first adult basketball league, going along with our first volleyball league started tonight, which had about 180 kids in it, which is really good compared to what they've done in the past. So a lot of good things coming out from YFAC. We actually fully opened our doors for everything on April 1st. The pool is finally done, and we passed our inspection there. We had our learn to swim classes this past week, and had a bunch of third graders or second graders running through there from different Norman public schools, and the state came in there and did learn to swim education, which is pretty cool. Besides that, Bentley Park is progressing. We think we'll have a ribbon cutting, which we'll make sure to put on the calendar towards the end of spring. It's going to be pretty cool. Of course, that is in honor of Lionel Bentley, our former park director, right before Judd. Very cool. The thing that we're working on is a seedlet packet with wildflowers that we're going to hand out that day, because we're having a lot of natural areas out there that we don't. As we're doing our park feedback, that's one of the things that we're getting a high percentage of people want back. They want non-manicured natural areas in their parks. So.
And Sierra Club knows you're doing that?
At Bentley Park, yes, and we're working with Sierra Club out at Saxon Park as well. So, anything else?
Saxon Ad Hoc Committee, who is our rep from here?
So they're having a cleanup
And me.
this weekend,
I
or
just found out.
out there.
Yeah, Saxon.
It's like,
Yeah, at 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock if you want to. They're not cleaning up trash, and although you could clean up trash if you wanted to, but they're trimming the privet, if I said that right.
At Saxon or at Sutton?
Sutton, sorry.
Sutton, I was gonna
Sorry.
say, why did I not know that?
Sutton,
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, I just thought I'd tell you, it's invasive, yeah. So they're getting some students out there, and basically,
Good luck.
if you could help trim
Metric
or.
tons of privet out there.
Yeah, or they're not probably gonna get rid of it all, but
At 9 o'clock, right?
that's 10, I think 9:50 is.
Is that the
when-
big event?
Yeah, the big event.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of students out there too, so.
back to Saxon real quick, Carla, we mean to make sure to have our ad hoc. We had them on that invite?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
April
I did-
12th is
April
our
12th.
first Saxon Park.
I
yes.
thought it was 11. When? Have we received anything on that?
I just sent it out
I got it today.
and I had both of you on Saxon Park.
Okay, and I'm out of town.
Me and
so
you.
I will not be there.
So
Sister.
Mary,
We'll fix that. We'll get you the agenda and schedule invite to send.
On the
I think
12th?
whenever
Next Friday,
that was
At 11 o'clock,
created,
correct?
11 a.m.
you had
At
taken
what
that,
time?
but
11
11.
a.m.
February.
Given a program.
Which is fine with me, because that's.
It's just the first meeting. It'd be just basically we'll go through their charge of it, ad hoc committee, and outline of what has been, what the design group has checked in so far. And then we'll start getting input probably at a later meeting for it.
Moving to Reeves, how long's the helmet or whatever on the
Sword.
robot?
Until after Medieval Fair, a week or whenever our guys can get over there and change it back. So we put
Like
it
a
up
week?
for Medieval
I haven't been
Fair.
over there, so I feel bad.
I haven't either.
Even though the fair's coming up.
Medieval
but-
Fair
I think
this
I've
weekend.
driven
I
by
know.
it 10 times, I just forget.
Yeah, that's happening right now.
And has it been on like a week before?
Yeah, they got it up, I
9
think,
o'clock, so.
maybe Friday of last week, and it's
I
been
don't
on
know
this
the
week.
plan, what-
It'll be on probably throughout next week.
Power tools
cool.
are gonna be involved with probably quite a few.
Also to add to miscellaneous, if y'all have noticed, Veronica's not here tonight. Veronica resigned and took a job in California. She is no longer with us. I know that sounds morbid, but she's
Yeah.
not working for us anymore.
She got tired of Oklahoma and had to go back.
She's still alive. And Mitchell is the interim recreation manager, so
Lucky you.
probably just step in. You'll see a lot of things going on with Mitchell and see his face around.
She'll be missed.
She
Yeah,
was
definitely.
definitely missed.
She
Where
did
you're
us.
sitting.
On the senior center, you
In
said
good
you had
hands.
2,600 people. Do we know how many are full paying members versus?
I do not. They just give us a number update. That would be a good, when they do the yearly presentation update, that would be a good information to get.
What's your goal out there?
Yes. Is that for the adult wellness?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Their goal within the first year was to get 1,000 members, so
They have
I don't
what,
know if they're.
8,000?
What?
How many
Nailed it.
members they got?
2,600.
And do we ever
snooze
get the
now.
door number, like every day? How many people come through the door?
That would be that'd be good information to get. from
I
them.
get a lot of good feedback from people.
Let's track all those people.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, we can.
Yeah. See where they go
Say, it
after.
sounds like we can do it, so.
You go to Furs at
See
4
me
o'clock
going
and
from the
straight back
pool
to
to
bed.
home. Pool
For
to
some
home.
reason, it's okay probably to track the younger kids and
Millennials.
I was gonna
moms
say
and
that.
dads, but I don't think we want to track the
No.
The seniors would be like,
So if we
Might
forget where
find
we
out some
are, we
things
can
you
find
don't
out.
even wanna know.
Where was I on this day? I forget what I was doing. And find out where
Careful
we
when you
were.
commit a crime. Yeah.
Catherine, with the rental situation for like a piano, that's a digital piano, but it looks like it's in a real piano, like a regular
Body.
one, just like kind of a rent-to-own thing, $25 or $30. I don't think that, they want to get music in there, but, I mean, they just don't make those kind of things. It's like it won't have to be tuned or anything, and it's lightweight. You could put it up on the stage. I mean, somebody could lift it and.
My wife's got one of those. She keeps thinking she's gonna learn how to play, but maybe if I snuck it over there.
Maybe if you donate it.
You know,
Maybe she just found the
hopefully
right
she's not
teacher.
watching this.
Yeah, donate it, see how long it takes her to know it's.
Well, she's tracking you.
oh goodness.
We have,
Case.
is it, are we do anything for Earth Day? Is that?
Birthday ceremony,
22nd.
is on the 22nd at Reeves Park.
Console.
Same stuff that we've
Same
been
old stuff.
doing for several years.
21st.
21st.
Yeah, sorry, Sunday. I was looking that up.
And we do have a tree planting ceremony, or tree planting, I think right before that, before Earth Day ends. So-
When is that?
You never read it.
21st.
On
At Reeves Park.
at the Earth thing.
Yep, April 21st, Reeves Park.
So our arborist will be there, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
Okay. What's his name?
It's like
Colin?
15 feet tall.
Colin.
Forester.
Yeah,
He knows more about than just trimming trees. We don't want to put them in a box.
And how big do we think those trees are gonna be? Are they gonna be like
Which ones?
the
The ones
ones
that-
they're giving away on Earth Day?
Oh, they're
Oh,
tiny.
they're,
Oh, they're
no,
big.
they're actually larger. They had a really good grow season and they're about this tall right now.
Oh, that large.
A couple years ago, they were even.
They last about 2
flavor are they,
minutes, don't they?
Scarlett? What flavor
Yeah.
are they?
In and out.
They're
Don't
loblolly
they-
pines, and we have almost
lines like a
200
mile
to
long.
pass
No,
out.
I'd go buy a tree.
First come, first serve. When they're gone, they're gone.
No waiting in line.
You said Colin, right?
Colin.
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 Didn't he do something else recently that was?
Yeah, they did a
Do I
we were
remember
doing a
this
garden
right?
at 12th Avenue for our
Okay,
spring break
that's
camp.
what I read.
And
Okay.
it got some pretty good pub on a couple of the news channels, so.
At the rec center?
The
Well Street.
12th Avenue Recreation Center,
Yeah.
they did a little or not ceremony, but a planting
Raised
activity
gardens.
with the spring break camp they had there. So
Oh.
the kids got to plant a variety of different seedlings and
I
everything.
think that's neat.
That's cool.
And those pine trees are native?
They got them from the Forestry Division at Goldsby. So, yes, I think that's where they grew them.
But, I mean, they're native.
No, Lava
No.
Lava Pines aren't native Oklahoma.
I didn't think so, but he's okay with that, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's what they're giving us, so that's what we're
Yeah,
giving
you
away.
get what they
You get what they will give you.
They are naturalized.
It's
so
not
they
a
grow here,
cedar,
But they're not a
so.
native species, so you're splitting hairs that they survive and do well here, but they're not a native pine in Oklahoma.
And I think, and next month we have our park board tour, is that?
Are we doing a tour?
Correct.
We're doing a tour.
Is there any suggestions? I know we were talking about going and looking at the stormwater,
Just a couple of inlets.
the artful inlets. We haven't taken you to WIFAC since it's been completed, so if y'all want to go out
Like to
there.
see that. I missed the thing.
If there's any other suggestions, they might be able to go by Bentley.
That'd be cool.
That would be
And
nice.
take a quick peek out there. And that's
And
probably.
Saxon, I mean, it's right there.
Maybe play some pickleball. I'm just,
We can at Bentley. Or at WIFAC, depending on what the temperature is. You can play in the air conditioning.
Be caught in traffic, it'd take us forever.
Any
So
other,
that probably gets an hour and a half easy.
any other discussion, comments? Okay, seeing as we have no other public comments, meeting's adjourned.
Good. I was telling him that